Hey, what's up, guys? Michael here. Season 3 Talk About It. Today's guest, Matt Grassmyer with Hail Trace.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Back, episode 2, Talk About It, season 3. Today's guest, Matt Grassmyer from Hail Trace. Matt, thanks for jumping on with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I've got some carne asada street tacos here from a local place. I can't wait to dig into those. I'm going to enjoy them. I've got 5. Remember, we're doing $60 per taco to charity this year. The MMA Company Cam Taco Counter, we're going to at least add 5 to the count today. So I'm going to get into those. Matt, before we jump into your advice, because that's what this year's theme of Talk About It is good advice for contractors, tell them a little bit about who Matt Grassmyer is and what Hail Trace is.
So Matt Grassmyer is a husband, a father. I've got a wife and 2 kids. Just welcomed our second child into the world about 3.5 weeks ago, a little baby girl. Also got a 5-year-old. Been married for 9 years coming up this year. So family life is pretty important to me. So when I'm not at Hail Trace, I'm trying to do something, family related or centered around my family. As far as Hail Trace goes, I'm the director of operations here and kind of oversee a few different things here and there, and have multiple different roles here, I guess. Hail Trace is, though, we're a weather forensics company that helps. We basically help contractors find areas impacted by severe weather, and then we help them target those areas through various methods. There's a lot of different things you can do with that, but basically we help contractors help property owners.
Perfect. And congratulations on the welcoming the little one.
Thank you.
Excited for you. I knew I was going to get a good submission when I sent this submission form out. I knew you were going to come with something good, and I loved it. When I saw it, I was like, man, this is perfect. And man, that's why we have you on episode 2, because there's a lot of pieces where the advice you're going to talk about today is going to be so important, in future episodes. And so the advice you submitted was creating powerful moments for both your team and your clients. And I think that's so important. From a high level, to just talk about, why that advice was something you were passionate about and kind of what you mean by creating powerful moments. And then we'll dive into some more questions.
Sure. So if we look at like organizations as a whole, and if we're talking about like hiring teams and like keeping teams together, like there's that old adage, people don't leave bad jobs, they leave bad bosses, or they leave bad companies, whatever you want to throw in there. So for us at Hail Trace, we want to cultivate a culture that people want to be at. People want to come to work. They pull up and they see, somebody's car and they get excited, and then for me, I roll up and I see Derek's car. I see, John's car. I see, Antonio's car, and you name it. I see their car and I'm like, oh gosh, this is awesome. I get to work with these people. Like we have fun doing what we do. So, but when you look at companies as a whole in their hiring process, 90% of people decide whether they're going to stay at their job on the first day of that job. So whether you leave 3 weeks later or 3 years later, you have already made that decision on your first day. So for us, we could either hope that they stay as long as they do, and then hope that it's 3 years. But even if it's 3 years and they stay for 3 years, we're basically wasting their potential, and we're wasting time and resources and not getting their full ability out of them. So for us, we want to make sure that, day one, you're coming in and it is a special day, like you are welcomed and you feel like you are a part of the team from day one. Because how many times you go in and you sit in a reception office and, 30 minutes later, somebody comes out and says, hey, welcome to your first day. Let's go sit at this computer and read this document or watch this HR video, those cheesy HR videos. So, rather than doing that, we'd rather say, for us, it's a sign. You got a reserved parking spot. Like, welcome to the team. This is where you get to park for the day. Come on in. Like, we're going to have balloons ready for you. Everybody's going to come out and say, hey, you're going to spend time with each and every person and kind of get to know them a little bit. So we just want to kind of develop and cultivate that. We call them powerful moments, because if you can create a powerful moment that somebody remembers, like, that's just going to like emotionally drive them to loyalty. And not that we're trying to like manipulate people, but at the same time, like, we want to deliver moments that you remember. Like, you're going to remember your first day here. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you got to keep that going. And it's celebrating your team's wins. Like, when somebody gets to a place where they are able to buy their first home at Hail Trace, like, we want to celebrate that. Like, we want you to know, like, we have your back. Like, that's a really cool thing. And or whatever the case is, like, we want to be on your team, not just in the office, but just in life. And so it's about finding what people are passionate about and finding ways to deliver moments that they're going to remember.
I love that. And we'll talk about here in a little bit about doing kind of the similar thing for your clients, but I want to dive into that a little deeper, because I know the team at Hail Trace really well, and you guys have an awesome team. And what you've created is you have that camaraderie, which obviously starts day one, but with that camaraderie comes a true passion for Hail Trace as well. And you see that in your team. Everybody on the team just oozes the passion of Hail Trace. And I think that probably starts day one. Would you agree with that assumption on my part, that, creating these powerful moments day one leads to this, just team atmosphere and this true love for your company? It doesn't have to be Hail Trace. If it's a roofing company, we bleed the roofing company or whatever it is. Do you see that starting day one?
Absolutely. And I think not only does it start day one, like, it starts at the top. It starts with leadership. And like Derek oozes passion for weather. Like, he's a weather nerd, but you can't help but see that. And that's just contagious. And so we know that at the top level, if we're not, passionate about what we do, like, how do we expect it, like, our team members to be like passionate about it? How do we expect them to go to battle with us every day if we're not willing to do the same? So yeah, it starts day one, and it starts at the top. They got to see you doing stuff that you're asking them to do. And then I think the other thing is, we let our people be them. Like, we unleash them to go do what they're good at. And there's not a lot of micromanagement here. Like, we have goals and we have things that we want to do, but we like to empower people and give people, the power to go do stuff.
Yeah, no, and that's extremely evident from an outsider's perspective. Is Derek's got a great vision for the company, but he allows the people within the company to go and make decisions and do things and fail. Like, I think that's a huge piece of this as well. Is when you talk creating powerful moments and you do that day one, it's great to do it day one. I think it carries so much more weight if you do it throughout every day. It's like, hey, we're going to celebrate successes, and we're not going to crucify you on the failures. And I think those are, in my eyes, those are powerful moments as well. Like, they look a little different from an employee's perspective, but if it's like, hey, it's okay if I make a mistake in my job because my team trusts me, they have my back. Yep. Is that something you recommend? Is that something you guys do at Hail Trace, where it's okay to fail and mess up?
Oh gosh, absolutely. If failure was something that we punished harshly, like, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you for sure. Yeah. And I think when any moment can be a powerful moment. I think the idea is just like opening up your eyes to see them, and then looking for those opportunities to make them a powerful moment. And like, a failure can be a huge powerful moment. And it's about like seeing that failure and then turning that into a learning experience, and then hey, I got my arm around you. It's okay. Like, hey man, I've been there and done that too. And that can breed just future, like, bravery. Absolutely. And courage to go just do more things. So when you empower people to fail and then let them know, like, hey, even if you get this 100% wrong, like, we're going to figure out why, and we're going to go from there. but we're going to go there with you. So
Absolutely.
I think just looking for that stuff is crucial.
I couldn't agree more, especially with, putting your arm around them and saying, hey, it's okay. That creates such a trust factor within a team that it's unbelievable. Let's slowly transition over to the customer side of things, because we're talking, creating powerful moments with my team, building that trust, doing those things. Those same qualities are extremely important when I'm going out and working with clients and acquiring new clients. You guys have an awesome, onboarding process, success team, customer service, whatever you guys refer to them as. It's great. At trade shows, you guys are always a buzz. Everybody's talking about how great, your service is, but how great you guys take care of your clients. How important is that? Like, how much of a concerted effort do you make in saying, hey, we want to give the best that we can to our clients?
Well, I think we've kind of seen shifts. We're actually shifting right now to a different team. Like, we've created a whole new team. We call it the customer success and strategy team, or the customer success team. And one thing that I kind of laid it out as we're like building this thing out is up to this point, we've just had amazing people that we find that go out of their way to provide exceptional customer service. Most of the time, though, that's a reactionary customer service. Somebody has a problem and we fix it. Now, we fix it really well, and we're really good at reacting to those things. But that's produced some raving fans that would defend us to the death. But what we're trying to do is unleash a systematic, intentional, widespread collective process that lays out a game plan to engage all of our customers in an accelerated program that caters to their needs proactively. Keep in mind, proactively, there's a huge difference there, and transforms them from customers into lifelong Hilltrace loyalists that have no other option but to use us because they are all treated like the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And if you can treat everybody, whether it's a sales guy of a roofing contractor, or it's the owner, or it's a guy who just gets paid $10 an hour to go canvas, if you can treat them all like the CEO of Amazon, like, they're going to go to bat for you. They're going to go tell people about you. And that's what we're trying to do. So we're actually doing some internal things here too to make a shift. I think it's really cool that people like from the outside view us as having great customer service, but we even know that we can do better. And so we're trying to proactively change that and go meet customers where they are, not wait for them to come to us, and go out there and say, hey, we want to figure out what you need before you need it. How can we do that? Help us figure that out.
Absolutely. I want to dive more into that. Let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, I want to talk about, to me, it sounds like expectations, and laying out expectations for your clients. Let's talk about how maybe Hilltrace does it, but then how these contractors can set expectations for their clients and then really deliver on those expectations. So quick break, and we'll be right back with Matt Grassmyer, Hilltrace.
Let's talk about it.
Hey guys, remember, if you do have questions, go ahead and comment below. At the end of the season, we're going to be going live with a special guest, and we'll get all those questions answered for you.
Let's talk about it.
What's up, guys? We're back. Matt Grassmyer, Hilltrace. When we left Matt, we were talking, kind of transitioning from those powerful moments internally to let's create those powerful moments for our clients. Let's dive a little bit into that. We've talked before on how important creating powerful moments for your clients are. Maybe speak to it from a contractor's perspective. When do I need to start creating these powerful moments as a contractor? And then we can dive into what those powerful moments are going to yield for me on the end.
No, that's a great question. I think I want to go back to what we were talking about before, because before you can start creating powerful real, genuine, powerful moments for your clients, like, you've got to create those for your team, because if they don't feel like they're part of your team, it's going to be a lot harder for them to deliver that, like, above and beyond, and produce a raving fan client. So it's great that we talked about that first, because that's really where it starts, is in-house. So you want your team to go out and be like, oh, I work for ABC Roofing Contracting Company. Like, I want to go deliver the best results I possibly can. And I think, some of the things you could do, like I said before, like everything can be a powerful moment. And, like in our industry, for example, like we talk about this all the time, like when you get on a roof and there's no damage found, what should you do with that? And in my experience, 8 out of 10 contractors, their response to that is, well, I'll just give them my card and tell them to call me next time it hails.
Yep.
And why not, rather than that? And I know we've talked about this ad nauseum a few times, like rather than that, like tell them, hey, deliver a powerful moment right there. Like set up a trusting interaction. There's no damage on your roof. Like that says I'm not a scam artist. I'm not a chuck in a truck. I know what I'm doing, but I'm not going to try to just get money out of you. We don't need to do anything with your roof now, but guess what? I use this great software. I've got pictures that I've taken that show that there's no damage on your roof right now. And next time it hails, I'm going to know, and I'm going to be able to get in touch with you. And I'm going to just make this as easy and painless process for you as possible. Like they're not even a client, and they're already experiencing some emotional highs with you because of that one interaction. And then do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it hails again, like go get that. You could do that with technology like Hail Trace. I think technology is a huge part of that. Yeah. But then go do it. Deliver on those things that you say. And so setting those expectations is a huge part of it. From where we're sitting.
Yeah, I love the word expectations there, and I think so often contractors fail to meet expectations because they fail to set expectations. You as a contractor, let the homeowner know what they can expect of you. This is what we do. This is how it's going to work. And I know you would agree with this. That first interaction is mission critical. I got to steal a Troy Climber-ism right there. It's mission critical. You have to be professional. You have to be on time. Find ways to use technology so that if it's not door knocking and it's some other first interaction, whether it's an appointment that we've set or something, that you have a professional way of letting them know who's going to be arriving, what time they're going to be arriving. Make sure you're on time, do those things, and then set expectations for the rest of the process. This is what we're going to do, and I think that little extra time where you're talking about you didn't find any damage, so often. Is that the boss man?
It is.
Derek Klein in the house. Derek Klein in the house.
I think we're up to $200 in taco money.
We're up to $200 in taco money, he says.
I've already eaten $300 worth, so tell him to pick it up a little bit.
He's already eaten $300 worth, so he's at $300 worth already. So,
lost my train there, but I'm gonna get right back on the tracks. I'm a professional Talk About It interviewer. Basically, what I'm saying is, set those expectations for the homeowner. Use technology to let them know, hey, we're coming. We're going to be here at this time. Meet those expectations. And now, even if I don't get damage, or maybe your HVAC unit doesn't need replaced today, build that. You use the word client. Build that client right now. I am your roofer. Unfortunately, or fortunately for you as a homeowner, fortunately, we don't have to do anything today. But I'm your roofer. I'm going to let you know when we do, when there is a storm. I can come out and check it again in a couple years. Whatever you need, I'm the person to call for that. And so building those clients is mission critical. Let's talk a little bit about, Hail Trace, obviously, when you have clients, and you talked a little bit about it earlier, being proactive. How important is that, being proactive to things that you maybe didn't do well with a client in the past, or a common question? How much value is there in hitting those things before they come up?
Well, the value is in that they're going to realize that they need what you have, and they didn't necessarily think that, or they're going to realize that they need something that they didn't know they had in you. They thought they had you for what? Like our product is a perfect example. Like you come in, think, oh sweet, I got hail maps. Hail maps are only good for 3 months in the area that I work. Okay, great. I don't need Hail Trace for a full 12 months. Well, I would argue that that's not true. And so it's about delivering wins to our clients and like figuring out like what they need. So like if we know that if you put a list of 100 contacts, 100 addresses that you've serviced in one way or another into HailTrace, and then it hails in your city and 50 of those contacts are impacted by that storm, you've got a list of 50 people you can go talk to right now. They may not know that. They just say, all right, HailTrace says it hailed there. I'm going to go check that area out. When they could have 50 hot leads ready to go from that storm. And so it's about saying, hey, did you get your hit list? Did you get your HailTrace hit list? You know, our customer success specialists are going to reach out and say, look, it just hailed in Dallas last night. I'm going to make sure that you got 3,000 clients in there. I'm going to make sure you get your list right now. It's about to be sent to your email. Make sure you're looking for that. And it's delivering those things that if you manage your expectations right, you're going to then deliver on those expectations, and they go, oh yeah, this is really cool. And so from like on a contractor side, it's, you know, hey, we take special care. We're going to make sure that your plants are not damaged, and then go out and actually show them, put up the catch-all, and they're going to come out and they're going to see, all right, oh my gosh, my rose bush is in perfect condition because it's being protected. They're going out of their way to go. My neighbor who had his roof replaced a couple weeks ago, man, there was trash all over the place. His trees were garbage after they were done with that roof. So they're actually going out of their way to make this, you know, it's not just about the roof.
Yeah. So yeah, let's dive into that a little more, because I think you referenced it earlier when you said raving fans. And I think as a contractor, or in our case as software providers for contractors, our number one goal is to make sure that you're satisfied with our product. But we want to make it to where you're not just satisfied, you're a raving fan. Because if the product is just good enough, it serves its purpose, it's working for you, that's great. But as a contractor or as a provider of technology or whatever it is, if we can create those raving fans, now we're getting referrals. Let's talk a little bit about that. Like, how important are those raving fans for word of mouth referrals and, you know, driving new business that you aren't even targeting?
Well, I mean, I think you've got to make sure that you're in a place where you can intentionally cultivate that. That's not just one interaction. That's not just knocking on somebody's door, inking the job, doing the roof, and then you're done. I'm going to call you next year when it hails. Like, they may remember you, they may not. Their wife may get sick for 6 months and they don't remember who you are. Like, life happens in between those moments. So it's about like delivering it consistently. You know, it's calling in October, right? For Oklahoma. October is when people start to winterize things. It's calling in October and saying, hey, I know we just put on a new roof for you in March. We want to come just make sure that everything's looking good. We want to make sure that your roof is ready for the winter. We want to make sure everything's good to go. We're going to come out and we're going to do that free of charge. We're just going to make sure everything's set. Like, another one would be, this is something I actually just thought of a couple weeks ago. It'd be cool to finish a roof out. You have interactions with your customer. I know that you're a Nebraska fan, and I'm doing your roof. We get done, man, your house just got a new hat. We got a new hat for you. I got you a Nebraska Cornhuskers hat to go with your house's new roof. Yeah. You know what? I got 2 Nebraska Cornhuskers hats for your kids because I know they love the Cornhuskers as well. So not only is your roof getting a new hat, you and your 2 sons get new hats as well. So it's like that kind of stuff can like really drive, like, oh man, like I hired them to replace my roof, but like they got to know me well enough to know that I'm a huge Nebraska Cornhuskers fan, and they got me a hat. Like that's really cool.
I love that. That's a concrete example of things you can do. Super easy, super inexpensive, but it builds that relationship. And I'm even thinking, like, as you were talking there, I'm thinking to myself, I can get referrals from people that aren't even my past customers. You know, if I did a great job and I gave them a thorough estimate or a thorough inspection, unfortunately for me, but fortunately for them, there was no damage. And I present that in such a professional way that they say, man, that was awesome. You know, I'm glad I'm relieved I don't have damage, but I do have, you know, a mother, father, friend, neighbor. They could probably use your service. I mean, I've had it happen with Company Cam before, where I talk to someone and they say, you know what, honestly, Company Cam's not for us for whatever reason, but I love the product and I love how you were willing to show it to me, those kind of things. And then they're sending people our way. I mean, you'd be a great example of that, Matt. You really have zero need for company cam, but you send people my direction because of a relationship that we've built. And I think that that's so important for contractors as well. Do you want to speak to that a little bit and talk about, let's end with that, like how just building these relationships are so crucial for business success?
I think, I think you see in our circles all the time, your net worth is your network, and that's very true as far as clients go, or non-clients. And I think it's about building relationships, whatever part of the process that person is. But I think the most important thing is like actually asking for it. Like, hey, I know we didn't really need to do anything with your roof, but do you know anybody that would need our services? And asking for a referral. And I think we think that we've got to get this. And you made a great point about non-clients. Like, you can still get referrals from those people if you've delivered a great, powerful moment or established some rapport or whatever you want to call it. Like, but you got to ask. And asking is crucial, because if you don't ask, like, they might not even think about it. It's rare the person that goes, man, that was so awesome, I'm going to tell everybody about it.
Yep.
You still got to ask for that. It's just like asking for the sale. Like, you could sell a guy on company cam, but if you don't actually ask for his credit card, like, did you really get the sale? You didn't buy a company cam. He's sold on it and he's ready to go, but you didn't ask for his credit card. So he walks out the door with no company cam. Like, you didn't sell it. So you got to ask for the sales. The same with referrals. You got to ask for those a lot of the time.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask for them. Don't assume that they don't have somebody that they can refer to you. You don't know if you don't ask. Matt, absolutely an awesome time with you here. I know you've got some Torchy's tacos there. I let you do all the talking, so I ate all my tacos, but go ahead and dig into those Torchy tacos. Appreciate you jumping on with us today. It was great advice, and we will see you guys next week for episode 3 of Talk About It.
Let's talk about it.